All right, so this is where we left off at the end of last riding season. The rear wheel won't spin freely. After 100,000 kilometers across the Americas on the motorcycle, I stripped it down at the end of last year to do a full rebuild. Unfortunately, before I could finish, winter hit. So when I parked the bike, the rear wheel has a bunch of resistance and won't spin freely. The chain is too long, as you can see. And I had a few other outstanding problems that need to get solved. The first problem to figure out is why this rear wheel has so much resistance and won't spin freely. It's last year when the rebuild video ended with the seized rear wheel, almost everybody recommended taking off the brakes. And then that way, once you take the brakes off, it'll either confirm that, hey, the wheel spins freely, the brakes are the problem, or it still won't spin freely, brakes aren't the problem, it's somewhere in the axle. Okay, so we got the caliper off and the wheel spins freely, so that's good news. The slider bolts that came out, one is completely fine, but the front one, the front slider bolt, is all corroded. And it's insane to me that Honda, for this little bolt here, wants $23 for a bolt. And then I'll service, clean up, lube all the slider grommets or whatever these are called. I don't know if I'm doing this the right way. It says to take this sleeve out of the boot. I guess I'm just gonna keep pulling, but it doesn't look like it wants to come out that other end. It's like attached in there, so I honestly don't really know what I'm doing here. It definitely feels attached on that other end. So I don't know if it just comes out this far or if the whole thing actually comes out. I don't know how to do that. This thing, it says withdraw, so I think that's withdrawn. It doesn't look like it comes out because it's attached there, I think. All right, so there's the caliper, there's the slider. I've cleaned it, but you can see it's corroded, so realistically it's got to get replaced. But I really want to get the bike back together now. I had to wait for the little slider pin there. So I'm just going to lube this up for now, make a note, and then come back to it because I just want to get the bike rideable. And the wheel spins freely. Woo! All right, so with the chain, long story short, my mechanic was supposed to cut the chain to size. I had the rear swing arm off, everything, put it all back together, realized that they never cut the chain, it's way too long. So now I have to remove the master link, cut a length of chain out, put a clip master link, which I hate, don't use them. I've had 3 fly off on me, and then ride it over to him to rivet a master link in. So let's see how this goes. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Man, for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to get this plate on. It won't go any further than that. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to bash it? I don't understand. Ugh. All right, well, as you can see, the plate that came with the Clipmaster link just won't fit over the pins. I don't really know why. Weirdly enough, the plate that I took off of the chain, that I grinded off, it slides over no problem. And I'm just reusing the little damaged plate that I grinded off. Okay. All right, so we got the chain on. We hopefully got the brakes all sorted out. Everything's all torqued up, axles torqued, everything. Moment of truth. Oh, look at that. Now we just got a couple more things to get it all buttoned up. You still got to attach the shifter, put all these covers back on, everything, footrests, all that. We're getting there. This is beyond frustrating. This gave me so much trouble taking it all out too. Oh man. So now we gotta put the shifter linkage back together. We gotta replace the footrests. Come on, please go on. So as you can see, my bike is a big, dirty, dusty mess. It's probably been maybe 40,000 kilometers since I replaced the air filter, and it's been through some pretty serious, dusty, dirty, whatever roads. So to remove the air filter, you have to actually remove the computer. So that'll be the first time I'm doing that. So let's get to it. Okay, there we go. Hopefully I can get this out without those screws falling anywhere. Okay. Alright, so beautiful brand new filter, nice and new. You can see how dirty the old one is. Dirty, got all kinds of bugs and stuff in there. We got the new air filter in. Time to put it all back together and hopefully not break anything. I think that's how she goes. All right, air filter changed. That seemed to go pretty smooth, because we won't really find out till I try and start the bike. So as of now, that's good. All right, I also have a pannier that was damaged in a crash in Peru. It's a little bit of slippery water mud. Just slid out before I knew what was happening. This slider thing did its job. Just got chewed up there. And I was riding a couple hours later and it literally just fell off. So I had to pry out the aluminum backing plate so it could slide back on, but it's not seated properly and it rattles a little bit. So let's figure that out. I think I'm just going to move the attaching plate back a little bit if I can. Maybe wrap some string or something around it just to get a good seal. These are actually as far back as it can go, so there's no way to really move that. I think if I get more leverage on that, it should tighten up. So I'm just gonna put some duct tape on and see what we can do. Another one. That actually worked so well to eliminate any sort of rattling. This one was really bad. The other one was okay, but there was a tiny bit of give. This worked so well. I'm actually gonna put a bit of duct tape on the other side too, and not have a move around at all. All right, so now we got to cut the sheepskin down for the seat. I had a sheepskin previously. It disintegrated throughout the trip, so now I was gifted a new one. I think white would have been better for the heat, but this one will look a little bit better. Sheepskin. Okay, so this crash bar has been a godsend to me, but you can see it's gotten pretty bashed up. It survived lots of abuse, a few crashes. You see it's all rusty. It's got all chipped and rusted. So we're gonna try and clean that rust off. I feel like this is the point that I should tell you that I'm just showing you what I do. I am absolutely not showing you what you should do or how to do anything. It's just what I do. All right, so we're just gonna do some black rust check paint. So I think it's looking pretty good, all things considered. One thing left I didn't fix, and I'm a little unsure of what to do, and that's my Rally Raid spoked tubeless wheels. I had an episode in the Arctic where the wheel got damaged and I got stranded. Basically, a mechanic put balancing beads inside my tire without my knowledge or approval. After a treacherous ride to the Arctic Ocean, I went to air down the tire for more grip on the way back. Well, a balancing bead got stuck in the valve stem, releasing all the air and even breaking the bead on the tire. When pushing the bike, the glass balancing beads slashed and demolished the tubeless sealant. We got the spoke showing here. Then the mechanic who was supposed to help me and fix it, let's call him John, he, lovely guy, but he had a few too many beers and started taking chunks out of the rim. And then told me he couldn't do a motorcycle tire. In the end, it turned into a 2-day ordeal stranded in the Arctic in 24-hour sunlight, losing my mind.
They're the biggest mosquitoes ever.
Then around 2 years later in southern Patagonia, at the other extreme end of the earth, I got stranded with another flap. This time the culprit was corrosion on the exposed aluminum on the bead. I believe this was a combination of the rims being previously damaged by John, and then all of the removal and reinstalls of tires, and then combined with me riding on salt flats and ocean beaches, just lots of moisture and salt. The aluminum corrosion was just enough to create a slow leak that I didn't catch in time, destroying the tire. Luckily, this time stranded was a much more enjoyable experience, as I've spent a few days on an idyllic farm in southern Patagonia, eating and drinking well. We cleaned off the corrosion and installed a new tire. It hasn't leaked for 2 years, or around 30,000 kilometers since, but I wanted to repair it. But it turns out that sending them in to be repowder coated at the manufacturer would be almost as much as buying a brand new set, so that just wasn't an option. My original plan was to cover the exposed parts with paint or lacquer or something, but I've been advised that this actually might cause more problems than it's solved if they aren't currently leaking. So my plan now is I'm going to wear out the tires on my stock wheels until I leave for my next trip and figure out what kind of tires that I want to put on. But I want to know what you guys think. Should I leave them as is, paint them, or do something else? All right, moment of truth time. I think I've got everything done on the bike. I hope I've got everything done on the bike. I actually went to install the battery, and when I went to install the battery, I could only find 2 negative wires, and there was 3 positive wires. So I thought, oh, where'd this other wire go? Turns out when I changed the air filter, one of the accessory negative wires got drawn into the air box and secured down. So I pulled it all. I had to remove the ECU, the air filter, everything all over again to remove the wire. Got all damaged and crimped or whatever. I wrapped it in some electrical wiring tape, and I hope everything works. So let's try and start the bike and make sure the accessories work. Wish me luck. Yes, okay. Looks like that is charging good. Success. As soon as it stops raining, we'll take it for a test drive and make sure it doesn't fall apart on me. Oh, that's new. That never used to be there, that stop sign. Alright, and for my test ride, I brought it to Forks to their credit, which is the best local road around me, and I've ridden it literally hundreds of times, so it's a really good comparison. Vicious animals, but really cute. All right, so test ride successfully completed. The bike did not fall apart on me, so that's great. It actually feels amazing with all the work that I've done. So the rear suspension had seized up unbeknownst to me. The rear caliper was dragging, got that solved. New chain and sprocket, so it's not clunking off the line. New front fork oil. Bike ride's amazing, almost like a new bike. It's incredible. I think I got another 100,000 kilometers and around the world trip in me and the bike yet. All right, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to check out some of my other videos. There's the first part of the rebuild that I did on the bike at the end of last year. I got a couple other reviews on the bike, and I have a load of really cool adventure videos. So if you want to see motorcycle travel all through the Americas, or a CB500X struggling with its owner, feel free to check it out. Like and subscribe.